What's up, guys? It's me, Jordan, here at Mellow Vapes in Belmont, and I just want to make a video real quick to kind of talk about the new mod that I picked up the other day. I know I showed a brief little sneak peek of it the other day when I made a video. I believe it was yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it was yesterday. So the other day I purchased myself an Aegis Legend with a Firelink Pro Tank, or the Freemax Pro Tank as some people call it. Overall, I do really like this mod. Now, I was a huge DNA person. I loved my DNA devices, and for the longest time I used a DNA, and I would not come off of it. Yeah, I'd had quite a few different mods over time. I'd gotten a lot of them secondhand, but I never really found anything that was able to keep up with the DNA until now. And don't get me wrong, I still love the DNA, and I would use the DNA over a lot of things. But this mod right here has really shown me, or opened up a new door as to how there are other devices in the world that are just as good as the mod that I had. So, like I said, I bought this Aegis Legend, and overall, it's been amazing. It takes two 18650 batteries. It runs up to 200 watts. I currently have it sitting on 80 watts right now because I'm running a dual mesh coil inside this Firelink Pro or Freemax Pro. So I'll go ahead and give it a vape and let you guys see how well this tank functions on this mod. I mean, overall, the tank's very smooth. Makes very good connection. Always on the first click. It's on the first click. Literally, as soon as you tap that button, that coil takes off in that tank. I mean, it has great connection. I'll take the tank off real quick so you guys can see the 510 connection. A little juice around the rim right there. That happens sometimes. It's not wanting to focus. There it goes. The 510 makes really good connection. I like how it's protruding out, and it makes really good connection with the 510 on the tank. I like the 510 on the tank too. It's not sitting out too far. It's not sitting in too far. It's just perfect. You see, it says Freemax on the bottom. Mesh Pro, and for me, I find great flavor and clouds out of the dual mesh, especially since it does run right at 80 watts. Now the actual tank, or the actual coil, can run anywhere between 60 and 90 watts to 0.2, and I absolutely adore this tank right now in this mod setup. It feels really good in my hand, and for me, I like a little bit of weight to my mod. And this one does have a little weight to it. It also has that cool leather grip on the back of it. It's the snow camo. I thought that was really cool. You don't really see a whole lot of the snow camo or the snake skin. You mostly see like the brown leather or the blue or the black. But I really do enjoy this mod. I haven't put it to the test yet as far as durability. I'm not going to actually try to put it to the test because I take care of my stuff. But if something does ever happen to where I drop it, or it gets run over, or I drop it in the lake or the ocean or snow or vice versa, whichever happens, I'll make another video to let you guys know if it survived, which I'm pretty sure it will. I've heard from friends who have the device that have put them through a lot of abuse, and they've always held up on them. I have a buddy of mine that works construction. He was telling me one time he worked in a skyscraper, and he dropped his, literally no joke, he dropped his from like halfway up the skyscraper out. He was up on the scaffolding. He ended up hitting the device. I went to go put it back in his pocket, missed his pocket, and dropped it, and it fell, and it hit the ground. Now it made a hard impact, and it kind of, dented the device up and cracked the screen. But he went down to the bottom, picked it up. Of course, his tank was broke, but the coil was still inside the tank. The tank was completely destroyed, but the coil was still inside the tank, still somehow making connection to the actual device. and he picked it up and hit the fire button and it still fired. So if that doesn't tell you anything, then I don't know what will. Because any device, my DNA, if I drop my DNA from a skyscraper height and it hit the ground, it probably would explode. But this thing right here held up for him really well, and he still uses it today. He just went and bought him a new tank. He went and bought him a new tank about a month ago after it happened. Bought the same tank he had, which is the same tank I have on here. And he says he can't get enough of it. So, and also I've heard great reviews out of people, construction workers that come in here, police officers, firefighters, especially firefighters. I have a friend of mine that's a firefighter. He has the mini version of this device, and he uses his on the job constantly, and he says it holds up really well. So if you're looking for a really good device that can withstand an impact, or getting wet or being run over, not saying that every one of these devices is going to be able to work after that, but most of the stories I have heard from people, their devices survived and they still use them today. So if you want a really durable device, I recommend, highly recommend the Aegis Legend. And like I said, you can ask Chance, you could ask some of the other people that used to work here. That's all I ever used with my DNA, and my DNA ended up getting so bad off. Excuse me. My DNA ended up getting so bad off that, okay. So on my DNA, I have a 510 plate. I have a plate that sits over my 510. My 510 is raised up. There's 3 screws that hold down my 510 plate. The screw on this side over here was broke off. The screw over here on the back was stripped. The only way it was being held down was by the screw on the front side. And my battery plate, I'm sure you've seen my battery plate, or you've seen the mod that I'm talking about, my DNA device. I did a full video review on it. It was only the battery plate was only being held on by the magnets, and the clips at the bottom were broken. But I was still using it. I put every RDA in every tank I could on that mod, and it still held up. It still works now, but it's starting to fall apart. And I knew I was in need of a new mod. A lot of people were sitting there telling me, "Hey Jordan, you need to get a new mod. Yours is going to end up falling apart on you." And this, that, and the other. And the other day, it literally bit the dust as far as coming apart. That last screw came apart, and the 510 plate fell off. And if I put it back together, if I put the 510 plate, set it back on it, and screw a tank onto it, it'll still work, but the 510 plate will literally fall off. So I got my money's worth out of it, and I got my use out of it, and I love it to death. That's why I love Lost Faith products. But Geek Vape makes some really nice mods, and I have to say that I really enjoy this device. So if you're looking for a really durable mod, something that'll meet your wattage needs of 200 watts, something that's tough and durable, go out and check out Aegis Legend. It's coming from me, which I'm Mr. Clumsy, and I have dropped my devices before. I try to take care of everything I do buy because things do cost money, and so does this one. But down here at our shop, you can get these for a really good deal. It is just the device, so you'd have to buy, batteries, tank, and juice separate. But we can set you up with we can get you a really nice setup. We can set you up with a really nice setup for a really good deal. So come down and check these out. Highly recommend. So until next time, my friends, y'all go out, get yourself a mod, put your little juice in a tank, blow a couple clouds, and y'all stay cloudy.